Why?
Right now, someone out there is moving their hands exactly like you do. They are leaning their head at the precise angle you lean yours when you listen intently. They might even be using that strange, specific vocabulary word you picked up last year. And you never notice that you mimic the person you secretly love. Today, we will explore you never notice that you mimic the person you secretly love. You think your body belongs entirely to your own conscious choices. You believe that when you cross your arms, clear your throat, or take a sip of water, it is because you decided to do it. But science tells a completely different story. Your subconscious mind is a silent thief, constantly stealing behavioral fragments from the people around you. When you are deeply drawn to someone, this theft accelerates into a beautiful, uncoordinated dance. Look closely at your next conversation with someone who makes your heart beat slightly faster. If they lean back against their chair, look at what your torso does 3 seconds later. If they rest their chin on their left hand, check where your left hand is resting. This isn't a conscious strategy to get them to like you. Your conscious brain is completely oblivious to the fact that it is running a sophisticated mirror script in the background. Why does your brain do this? To understand the root of this behavior, you have to look backward by tens of thousands of years. Your ancestors did not survive in the wilderness because they were the strongest or fastest creatures. They survived because they could form tight, unshakable tribal bonds. Survival meant belonging, and belonging meant being exactly like the group. In the early 1990s, a team of neuroscientists led by Giacomo Rizzolatti at the University of Parma made an accidental discovery that changed how we view human connection. They were studying the brains of macaque monkeys when they noticed something extraordinary. A specific set of neurons fired not only when the monkey reached for a piece of food, but also when the monkey simply watched a human researcher reach for food. The monkey's brain was mentally simulating the actions of the other being. These are called mirror neurons. You possess millions of them scattered across your premotor cortex and inferior parietal lobule. They are the biological scaffolding for human empathy. They allow you to feel a flicker of pain when you see someone stub their toe, and they allow you to share a micro moment of joy when someone smiles. When you secretly love someone, your mirror neuron network goes into overdrive. Your brain begins to perceive that person not just as an external object, but as an extension of yourself. The boundaries between you and them begin to blur at a neurological level. The more value your brain assigns to an individual, the more intensely it copies their every movement. Psychologists Chartrand and Bargh famously formalized this phenomenon in 1999, naming it the Chameleon Effect. They discovered that individuals naturally mimic the postures, mannerisms, and facial expressions of their interaction partners without realization. But the experimenters noted an essential nuance. The mimicry multiplied dramatically when there was a high level of rapport, liking, or unexpressed attraction between the two people. Think about the last time you laughed at a joke that wasn't particularly funny. Why did you do it? It wasn't because your sense of humor suddenly shifted. It was because the person you desire laughed first, and your mirror neurons instantly demanded compliance. You didn't just share their sound, you shared their internal emotional state. This mimicry isn't limited to physical gestures. It rewires the way you speak. Linguists call this phonetic convergence or language coordination. If the person you secretly admire speaks in a slow, measured cadence, your own frantic talking speed will naturally begin to decelerate. If they use specific slang or vocal inflections, those exact vocal habits will magically appear in your conversations with other people days later. Your brain is attempting to build a social bridge. By matching their vocal pitch, pacing, and syntax, your subconscious is sending a powerful, ancient signal. It is whispering, "Look at me. I am safe. I am just like you." But what happens when this mirroring goes completely unnoticed by both parties? It creates a strange psychological feedback loop. When someone mirrors your behavior, your brain rewards you with a subtle hit of dopamine. You feel a sudden, inexplicable wave of comfort and safety around them, even if you can't point out why. You simply feel like you are perfectly in sync. Is it possible to hide this involuntary romantic mirroring? Not easily, because these motor loops are managed by the deep, primitive structures of the brain. Like the basal ganglia, they bypass your conscious filters entirely. You can try to force your body to remain perfectly still, but the moment your attention drifts back to their eyes, your hand will unconsciously move to match theirs. So, the next time you find yourself sitting across from someone special, pay attention to the small things. Notice the way you pick up your glass when they pick up theirs. Notice the way you tilt your head when they lean in to tell a story. You are witnessing an ancient biological ritual designed to knit two human souls together. And as you walk away from that encounter, remember that someone else out there might be doing the exact same thing because of you. Right now, someone is probably moving their hands exactly like you do. They are leaning their head at the precise angle you lean yours when you listen intently, and you never notice that you mimic the person you secretly love.